Go.
Hey, it's time for the nerdy news, and I'm your host, I'm Russ Rollins, but my man over here, Jeff Kaufman, knows everything about the nerdy news, and that's for Jeff Kaufman from Kaufman. And then Ryan Holmes is here with us, doing all the producing and helping us out with all that good stuff. Jeff, how you been, man?
We've missed 2 weeks. I feel kind of crappy about this, but I was in New York City for New York Comic-Con.
And we got to talk about that.
Yeah.
We got to talk about the Joker.
Yeah.
And then I've got a legal question to ask you.
Legal question.
Yeah. I got all kinds of stuff in today's Nerdy News. You can always check out the Nerdy News wherever you get podcasts. We appreciate you guys finding it here. And we're live on our YouTube channel as well and live on Facebook. So, So Nerdy News. What do you want to talk about first? Do you want to talk about New York? Because that's a pretty big deal.
Oh, New York Comic-Con was serious. Yeah, we brought Jolly Jane. So we had the New York Comic-Con exclusives for that one, and we sold really well.
Jolly Jane's the comic book we wrote together.
Yeah.
And, of course, Big City Comics has a bunch of comics, but this is like the newest one that we did together, and we're super excited about it.
We sold 250 graphic novels and about 30 sets of the Jolly Jane.
Okay.
So we did very well. It was it's strange. People are addicted to it. Like this one woman, I got an email from her the other day. Oh my God, I was so mad. I bought issue 1 and I was too cheap to buy. I said, listen, you're not cheap. You're being frugal. You got to save your money for all the Shatner photos you need.
Right.
But she did get it. Shatner wasn't there, but it's amazing to me how much people charge for their autographs.
Oh yeah.
Like right now, all the Avengers actors, they're out on the road. They're making, they're selling their for $250 a pop, from $250 to $1,000.
Huh? Do they get 100% of that?
No, they get a cut of it. But still, if you're getting 50% of a 1 minute experience, you're getting $150 a minute or something like that. So, and some of these people are charging $1,000. So
Robert Downey Jr. is going to be the one that gets the most, right?
Yeah, he gets a lot of money. But your Chris Hemsworth, Thor, he gets paid.
Thor, right.
Evans, all the guys get good money.
Chris Evans, Captain America. Yeah. Yeah, and then what about Star-Lord? Does he do it?
Oh yeah, he's out there too. The funny thing is, if you go watch a YouTube, you'll see these videos that they're doing when they're doing these photo shoots.
Yeah,
and it's very funny because some of them they go where it's a couple, and a lot of times couples pay for the picture. You get a picture taken with a couple. There's always holding the husband back while hugging the girl.
Oh, that's what Mimosa does.
Yeah, they all do those funny ones.
Yeah, Jason Momoa. I call him Mimosa just because it drives
the Momoa. I call him the Momoa because he's a mountain of a human being.
Yeah, big dude. So were there more celebrities at the New York Comic-Con than there were at the one that we were in San Diego?
No. There are people signing, but no, it's not the same. It's so easy because California is right there.
Right.
So the people in New York are solely there for their money.
Sure.
They're there to sign stuff. So you didn't have the same levels. You had it was a lot older too. Like they had the Angel, like Buffy and Angel were shows on they were fun, the vampire shows.
Yeah.
And the main actor isn't there. So you have all the scrubs who were part of Angel that were.
Oh, it's all the B team. It's not David Boreanaz.
No, that's my guy, the Navy SEALs, man.
Yeah.
He's brilliant. Every show he's on, you could watch. Like Nathan Fillion is one of those guys too. They can do shows for 10 years at a time, 10 years, and you'll keep watching it because you like that actor.
Yeah, Nathan Fillion is really that guy. I don't know what it is about him.
He's likable.
Everything he's in. I don't even like that like network TV based drama shows. But what was it? Castle, great show.
Oh, he's doing The Rookie now? I'm enjoying the hell out of that.
He does this weird thing right now. There's a show on Netflix called Big Mouth. It's this animated TV show, very, very raunchy show. But he's just in it as he's not even a real character. He plays a girl's fantasy version of Nathan Fillion.
Oh.
And it's just so stupid and funny. And it's just I love Nathan Fillion.
He's actually in Suicide Squad, the new Suicide Squad that's being filmed
right now.
Is he
really?
Yep.
Hey, so one of the things that that we're hoping for is you go to one of these comic conventions and hoping that one day someone would take Jolly Jane and put it on Netflix or put it on Amazon or put it on DC Universe or whatever.
Yeah.
Any interest? Did you talk to anyone that maybe anything like that happened?
Well, I don't want to. You and I haven't talked because you've been busy.
Yeah.
Not busy. We've both been busy.
Yeah.
Since I got back, we've been really busy. But one of the cool things is while I was there, I get a call from a local guy who needed some help with something because, I'm the go-to guy, when stuff is on fire, you call me.
Lawyer business. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, oh, Jeff, I just set fire to the house. What do I do? Get out of the house.
Yeah.
Right. So, it's amazing if you I ask these people sometimes, I said, pretend this is your friend. What advice would you give them?
Yeah.
And they go, well, I would tell them not to do it. I said, so why is it different when you're talking to me?
Yeah.
But I get a call from somebody, asked for a little help, and I said, okay, don't do this, don't do this, do this. And then he said to me, he goes, well, whenever you want to shoot one of your books as a movie, give me a call. I said, I'm not paying for that. I'm not. He goes, no, I have investors. And I was going, okay.
Yeah.
I suddenly became bilingual. That's what in Spanish.
Right, right.
So everyone's like, what? But yeah, that was so. I'll look into that. But there's also another one coming in on another book. Who she's going into Sarasota to see if she can get matching money. And
yeah, you talked about that before. That was roulette, right? Yeah,
that's
good.
Roulette.
Yeah. For those that don't know, Big City Comics, Jeff's written many different comic books, not just Jolly Jane. That's just the one that we did together recently, but he's got a bunch of them, and all of them are awesome, and people love them. They show up at the conventions and they go crazy to meet Jeff and talk to him. So good. I'm glad that we're in well.
Well, somebody said to me the other day, we were talking, and I got another message, and it was like, oh my God, I look forward to being able to sit here and talk to you about comic books. I forget I'm at a convention to sell stuff.
Yeah.
You're just hanging out and making friends.
Matter of fact, well, I'm glad you brought that up, because when you're with them, I'm there and I'm here to sell stuff. Yeah. Jeff will talk to them forever, and I hit him on the shoulder. Dude, can you sign this? Because I'm trying to get the money. Yeah. Like, sign it. And he's talking and talking. I'm like, hey, we got money here, and
you're not wrong.
Yeah.
Except this is what I think. When I got a chance to meet my heroes, and I remember, let's say it was like 20 years ago, and I walked into a convention. I got to meet this one guy who created this company that I had a lot of appreciation for, and nobody was at his table. And I walked over there. Oh my God, I can't tell you, I'm a lawyer, but this is so cool to me, blah, blah, blah. He couldn't lift his head up. Yeah. He couldn't look me in the face, couldn't lift his head up, couldn't be bothered with me, asked me what I wanted to buy. And of course I buy things because I know they're there to sell stuff. Scratch out a signature and just kind of tossed it across the table at me. And I wanted to literally stick my foot so far up his ass that, and go, what is wrong with you? Yeah. Don't you get it that if I like you, I buy more of your stuff? They can't do it because some people have been getting their ass kissed for so long.
Well, and some people just don't have personality.
Like when you say to me, oh yeah, people are excited to me, and say, hey, listen, I'm excited to see them.
Yeah.
Thank you for liking what I do.
Right.
And a lot of people, and you know what this comes from? This comes from succeeding too early in your life.
Yeah.
Where you don't have an appreciation for things. I mean, as you know, I've been in a bunch of different businesses and I've seen them go up and down. And now that I have my next business, the appreciation I have for things is through the roof because I know what failure is like. And it's just a weird world we live in.
There are just some people, though, Jeff, that are just awkward and they don't know how to deal with people. And they're maybe really, really great at doing one thing, but one-on-one with people, they're just not good at it.
I think the French have a word for that. It's called crappe.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's crappe.
Shite,
crappe.
Okay, something we have not talked about yet. And I'm really, because I wasn't able to be on the radio with you because I had a funeral to go to.
God forbid you got a death in the family. That's a crappy excuse.
I had to run that. And by the way, thank you for showing up. For it's my wife's mom's funeral.
It's so weird. The only time I wear suits are to your funerals.
Well, and I didn't wear a suit. Like nobody else had a suit there because we were out in Eustis.
You were wearing the black coat and you look a little Chris Farley.
I didn't have a coat on. I just
had, the shirt,
black shirt and
black shirt, black tie, blue jeans.
Yeah. And Eustis,
that's a redneck funeral.
I was a sharp dressed man out there, brother. Trust me.
That sounds like a great show, Redneck Funeral.
But I looked out and Jeff showed up and my buddy Scotty York showed up and we had someone from the
I rented a car, believe it or not. You didn't know this.
You rented a car?
I rented a car. My car's been in the shop for like 3.5 months, and because I've been riding the Harley every day, it's an excuse to force me to not drive in a car. Yeah. So I've been driving the Harley, and then I go, oh, there's a funeral. I can't show up.
Yeah.
At Mary Ellen's, your wife's, and a Harley.
You could have.
Oh, Mary Ellen, I would have pulled out. I looked like John Wick with my black suit on the Harley.
Just you showing up meant a lot to her. And I got another question about that. Okay, so you came to that funeral,
right?
And my mother-in-law, God rest her soul, sweet, sweet lady, very, very Christian, and it was very much Jesus Christ this and Jesus Christ that, and we got our Jewish friend in the back. Is that difficult for you to sit through, or to you is that just like
the hard part about it's like I support everyone's belief, whatever they want to believe in, whether it be rocks or gods or whatever.
Yeah.
Every once in a while when well, they mentioned, hey, listen, you're going to, she accepted this, and
that's the
and
only way.
because she accepted it, she's not going to hell like your heathen ass in the back, in the back of the room.
Now they didn't actually say that, but
I
I was thinking the same thing, because they're like, look, if you accepted Jesus Christ, then you're going to heaven.
But everybody else, not that Jew back there.
Now they didn't say that, but I could see where
that's what they meant.
Oh, Russ kind of looked tilted over his head and goes, even I get it.
I was like, oh, that's my buddy. What? No, I felt
Russ got VIP into heaven while the Jew in the back doesn't get to go.
I did feel. I'm like, oh man, I wonder if you're a Jewish person sitting through this, if that is difficult to hear.
If you're used to it, it's fine. I know this is like any community where if you're raised in this pocket and you never get out of that pocket of religion, race, from where your country is, you're a lot more sensitive to it. I was in the Army. I know what it's like to not. I spend more time around non-Jews than I do Jews. So it doesn't bother me. And I can understand some people might be extra sensitive towards it.
Yeah.
What was the song they were singing?
Get Out Jew.
Amazing Grace.
I was really surprised with the Get Out Jew. That's actually, I think I dated this girl and her parents sang that.
Yeah. They did Amazing Grace. They did.
No, the first one was.
It was from a movie.
Walking with. No, it's not from a movie. It was an original song, and they made it into a movie.
Correct.
It was. What's the song about? I'll be walking with Jesus when I.
Yeah, I go walking. With the Jesus.
No,
you're Jew.
They made a movie about it, and it's this awesome song. But anyway,
yeah. I can only imagine. And he sings it, and he's really getting into it, and he's like moving around. I'm like going, "There's a dead body right next to you, dude."
She would have loved that though.
He was doing one of these. He was getting into it. It was like
her favorite
Wild
song.
Hogs, where the guy was singing "Touch Rub Me."
See, I actually like that. I thought he did great. But anyway,
I was laughing a little bit about that.
I figured you were. That day, it was very sweet of you to show, by the way. But that day was the day that we were going to talk about the Joker.
Oh, yeah.
I did not get to talk about that with you. It's not the Joker.
Okay.
It's just Joker.
Okay, this is. God,
we got to go through this.
Okay, I'm going to say this because I'm not going to post this on Facebook because I delete a lot of people when they talk about their politics immediately. And it's not about politics. You're killing creativity when people are saying you can't write this movie, you can't do this movie offended me, this movie has a feeling. First off, if you don't go to the movie or you don't understand what you're watching, you can't say, "Oh, it's going to cause all this conflict."
Okay, so what you're talking about now is people were saying that the movie Joker was going to cause people to go out and
it causes
him.
Oh, it's offensive to the mentally imbalanced. It's offensive to this. Hey, guess what? 500 million people disagree with you.
Oh, well, I mean, the movie obviously has done very, very well. As far as the movie theaters, it's getting critical acclaim. People are saying that Joaquin Phoenix should be nominated, probably win the Oscar for it. I will tell you, and we talked about this before, and I think I told you personally. For me, I'm a big Batman fan, and to me, it was just all Joker. It was all the villain. There was no balance. You didn't have the balance of good and evil. The great thing about Batman and the Joker is Batman wins at the end. You didn't have that. You had the villain, the guy that's a murderer, horrible person, is the hero at the end. And to me, I didn't like that part of it.
It's an origin story,
right?
And it's a lie.
What do you mean?
Okay, it's not real. It's a made-up origin story.
All of it is. Like, all comic books are made up.
No, it's like, imagine you talk about your life, and you go, okay, how do I want people to remember me? Mm-hmm. And then you take your story and you completely flip it around. You make yourself the hero in every scene. You justify all your bad conduct.
In comic book world, then it is the Joker writing his own story.
Exactly.
Oh,
this movie was the Joker basically writing his origin. The whole thing was a joke. In fact, he was inspired, and I've mentioned this on the show. He's inspired by The Killing Joke, which is a graphic novel that was very well known. Where he talks about he wishes people, that everybody should be able to tell their story in multiple choice fashion, like they can pick their route they want to do. In the Joker movie, and hey, listen, if you don't want me to spoil it, I don't give a shit. Okay. Fact is this. The Joker movie, everybody killed was a bully. Everybody in there deserved to die.
Hold on. His mom was not a bully.
Yes, she was.
How?
She abused him his whole life. She said, "You're not funny. Why is this?"
Okay.
And give me that. The whole thing, she tortured him. Oh, he'll take care of us. He'll do this. Why are you coming? You're not funny. You're not this. And he took care of her whole life, and she really didn't love him.
Mhm.
You know, it was always
Guys on the train were definitely bullies.
Yep.
Cops.
Cops were bullies. They caused the mother to get hurt in the first place.
The guy who was the show host was a bully because
he goes, you brought me in just to make me look foolish.
Right.
So everyone in a way deserved his killing, which we know the Joker kills indiscriminately.
Right.
Who was passed? Oh, he was beaten up. He was beaten up multiple times. He was tied to a radiator. This is a story to justify a guy who turns out bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's an excuse for all of his conduct.
Mm-hmm.
And believe it or not, if you don't realize that Bruce Wayne, the Joker, it's the same origin.
What do you mean?
Okay. He became the way he was because bad thing happened to him as a kid.
Right.
What happened to Batman?
Yeah, well,
bad thing happened to him as a kid.
Yeah, he saw his parents get shot. Yeah.
He's the hero of the people. The Joker's the hero of the people. It was a whole process where the Joker is actually making himself Batman. He's going, I should be the hero of the city. I have excuses for me. The people I'm killing deserve to die. The people I capture deserve to get caught. I mean, these balances that are put together are exact. If the Joker was going to write this big joke, that's what it was.
So it's made almost $1 billion right now, right? It's
$500 million.
$500 million. Okay.
520 something.
Okay. So it just keeps going. Yeah. Will there be a second part to this, or is that a one-off? Is that a?
Here's the problem. Phoenix, if he's smart, is going to go no.
Right.
I can't do better than this. If you're the studio's going, you need a sequel now. The problem is you can't. I don't think you can do a sequel on this. But what I think they can do. And here's what's going to happen. The Riddler.
Yeah.
The Penguin.
And
they're going to do the same thing to try to get the mileage. Because we live in a very gray world now where we want to see villains are more entertaining than our heroes. So I think that's what happened. You can't take a hero and do this with him.
You know, Ryan, was it you or was it Angel that said he read that in the works is a Lex Luthor film just like Joker? I think
Angel was saying
that.
And it makes sense, though.
It's not fun.
That won't work. Nobody really cares about Lex Luthor.
No, it's not fun.
People care about rich businessmen with egomaniacal tendencies to try to take over the world.
Only when they want to click on. Only when they want you to click through on Facebook. The rest of the world doesn't give a crap.
Well, a bald one though, that might be interesting.
Well, what they said was it's where Lex Luthor ends up becoming president. But there's no Superman in it at all. It's just Lex Luthor story.
It's boring.
That does not interest me at all. Yeah.
No, the one thing about the Joker is there's a psychotic nature about it. The Joker, even in the old movies, when you talk about all the classic guys who have done them, Cesar Romero, Jack Nicholson, a lot of these guys all had that.
Jared Leto.
They had this. Jared Leto was a mean Joker.
No one likes the Jared Leto Joker right now.
He's mean.
He's being blown up all over the internet right now.
Well, they're trying to make it look like he's mad about the movie. He probably doesn't give a shit.
In all of the polls I see there, they always put that Joker as the worst one of all. And I didn't think it was that
They didn't
bad.
write him. It's not his fault. They didn't write the character with humor.
Yeah.
And remember
You're
this,
right. He has no humor.
Remember
and they made him look like an emo rapper, which is very weird.
Yeah.
So I think every Joker has to have a certain humor to it. And I think that the one thing about Phoenix was at the end of it, I was watching him on top of that car, and he's got his hands out. Crazy. And that's what I like.
It glorifies the Joker. So your theory does make sense. It was written from his perspective, and
where he makes himself Batman. He makes himself the hero.
Yeah, it does make sense. I guess. Hey, in the next Suicide Squad, will there be a Joker in it? There's not. So I know she references him, and she says, "Well, with me and Mr. J broke up. Me and Mr. J broke up." So
see, that's like Birds of Prey too. I find her character boring without the Joker. So I don't know if that's going to be any good
who all
for me.
is in Birds of Prey? What women are
It's
there?
Harley Quinn.
Yeah,
isn't it Poison Ivy?
There's two of them. I don't know. I'm not really that. It's hard for me because I like the character. I'm just not sure I like the character on her own. I think she's built more for a group based thing, and I mean she's a very talented actress.
No, it's Black Canary.
Black Canary, and I'm like, and that character never gets to me. I'm not fond of that character. That's her thing. She fights and screams.
Oh, that's stupid.
But some people like that character, and they like it because they put her in the fishnets, and
That's the thing. It's just to look at Margot Robbie in a bunch of fishnets running around, and people have a weird attachment to that character. But she, without her whole point of her character, she's in a terrible relationship with the Joker, and that's the only real thing that makes her interesting. Other than that, she's obnoxious.
I don't know if it's going to do well. I don't see it doing well as Joker. I think the problem is you have this international market that's just crazy, and they'll 2-3 times as many people internationally see a movie than we do domestically.
Yeah.
So a movie that can fail miserably, like Gemini Man came out, and you missed last week when we were talking about it on the radio, but I said Joker's going to take it.
Yeah.
And it's going to be the children's movie. I think is going to do a little better than Gemini Man, and I don't think Gemini Man's going to do so great. And I think internationally, with this, I think 60 million total, and those are terrible numbers for a Will Smith movie.
I don't like any movie or any show, for whatever, where it's the same guy playing the same part.
Right.
I don't like that.
I don't either.
There's a new one coming out with Rudd. Paul Rudd, and it's an HBO thing or whatever, and it's him playing him playing both parts, and I just don't like those. I think they're dumb.
I think when you rely too much on digital stuff, that gets weird. Like they're going, oh, here's a younger one fighting the older one, and you're going, I don't really care.
Yeah.
And I was going to go see the movie, and I'm going, you know what? I don't care enough to see this movie,
I didn't,
even to be able to tell you I didn't really like it. And I'm watching it, and Will Smith as an actor. I like Will Smith. I like when he's funny. I'm not fond of the ones where they try to make him too serious.
He's super serious, yeah.
And I'm looking at it because his face doesn't look serious.
Right. Well, we think of him as being Fresh Prince, and
I think he's funny. Yeah. He's a funny actor, and even when I saw him, and I want to go back because I just saw the Kevin Smith reboot movie last night, which I really loved a lot because I'm an uber geek, and seeing Kevin Smith talk about Chasing Amy, Mallrats, seeing all the actors, see Ben Affleck show up.
I don't identify with anything he's ever done. None of them.
Affleck was in it. Affleck was in it.
I like Ben Affleck, but
there was a joke about. Oh yeah. Yeah, he was really funny. It was funny. He was just making the comments about Batman.
Yeah,
which was very funny. Which you appreciate because Kevin Smith has always been about the inside joke. It's always been a joke of his life, a joke of this. And
I've never gotten his thing, and I know I know people that love it.
That's me.
Yeah.
I sat there with it, and the whole audience was a bunch of 40 to 50-year-old fat guys like me, watching this movie, laughing at jokes because he's talking about stuff from a movie I saw 50 years ago. And the joke, always the joke. And I think this is what it's about to be nerdy. And I think it's very important. My wife talks about this. She goes, "You're not a nerd. You just think you're a nerd." I said, No, I know the origins of thousands of characters that nobody could care about. I know lines for movies that I shouldn't know. I'm not a big Star Wars guy in that I can repeat all that stuff, but I get certain jokes and I'll always say it's a trap. And, for people who understand that joke, they'll get it. But I think it's connecting yourself to a certain thing that you love and you're so into it. It just so happens that this is sci-fi fantasy comic books.
Is it always something that you really connect to as a teenager though? Like
I was Hero. I loved Heroes.
Yeah.
The Spider-Man. I mean, you give me a Spider-Man book, I'll read it now.
Yeah.
Some people grow out of it. I think real nerds can't.
They don't. Right.
We can't because it's the child in us. And then if we give it up, we feel like we're giving up part of our soul to give up that love for something.
Yeah.
And I think that it's just being who you are.
So talking about movies, so we have a bet for this weekend, and that is.
I made a mistake. I made a mistake though.
You think Zombieland 2?
I think Zombieland
is going to win.
Yeah, the box office.
The box office, and I
screwed up.
I think Joker is going to continue to reign, and then we forgot though that Maleficent comes out this weekend, and there's a lot of kids.
And it's PG-13.
And it's PG-13.
I got screwed.
So
I got screwed. I did because if that didn't come out, I would have been right.
Maybe not.
I know I would have been right.
I don't think there's a big
Joker's doing this number. Joker's at 50 million. It's coming down. So it got cut in half. It means that this month, Joker domestically, Joker should do, let's say, 23 to 24 million
this weekend.
There's no way Zombieland, if they weren't competing with anybody, wouldn't do 40 to 60. But now I got the Disney movie competing with it, and I'm like, going, God. And we rented the theater out, so we're going to the movies.
You're doing that.
A lot of people
tomorrow night. You rented out whole movie theater.
Yeah, well, you do premieres on Thursday because the movie comes out on Friday. It's not that I don't want to do it on a Friday. It's just that this is a premiere. Premiere meaning that nobody has seen it before.
You get to see it for everybody else.
And the theater we use will play it at 8:00.
Yeah.
which is really cool. So we bring about 100 people in. We don't use the front 2 rows because those seats suck. And I know you say, fill them up, Jeff.
I would fill them
You
up.
do, but they sit there and they get mad at you.
No,
People go, I got a free ticket, but I hit this scared my neck hurts.
Not they're sitting for free. But anyway, look,
people.
Listen, you're the one paying for it, so you do what you want to do. That's fine with me. So that's this weekend, this coming weekend. What's going to win the weekend? Will it be Joker once again for the 3 weeks in a row? Will it be?
It should be Zombieland.
Zombieland 2. Which I don't see a lot of people. I mean, I'm not a zombie guy. I don't like zombies. I think they're stupid. I've never been a zombie guy. I remember that movie was okay, but I didn't really like it that much either.
That movie was funny. Bill Murray goes great in it.
I liked Bill Murray. Well, you know what? I could be wrong.
Woody Harrelson is hysterical.
Who all's in this one? Is Woody Harrelson?
They're all Oscar people.
Is Zoe Deschanel in it? Is she?
No. You got the. Maybe is she the little kid? I don't know. I know that. What's her name? Who's the girl from La La Land?
Oh, I love her.
She was in Spider-Man. She
her.
played Mary Jane in the reboot, not the recent one, but
what is her name right now?
She won the Oscar for the.
I know.
She always plays that look where she always looks like she's
Emma Stone.
Yeah,
thank you. Thank you, Naomi,
like
Thank you, Naomi. I like
she's
her.
smelling something bad.
I think she's beautiful.
Yes, but she always has that look on her face like she's mad about something.
Okay, well, hey,
maybe I'm just channeling all my exes. I don't know.
Could be. What we haven't talked about either is Titans, and I know those of you who are, this is nerdy talk, so we can talk about Titans. We really can't talk about on the monsters because it's so limited amount of people get to see it, but it's such a good show that nobody gets to see. But the last episode I saw was with Superboy or whatever.
Yep.
It was a mixture of Lex Luthor and Superman, and they got the dog, the Crypto, the dog, and all that stuff does come from the comic books, right?
Yeah, that's actually from the comic books. And the one thing about what I love about this show is it's a typical Netflix show in that there has to be some discussions. It's not
Netflix.
Well, when I say a typical Netflix show, I'm talking a streaming show where they can't spend a ridiculous amount of money. So they have to have small scenes, not a lot of extras, closed sets. The fight scenes have to be in smaller areas.
The fight scenes are good.
But the fight scenes are fantastic. Yeah. And they really push the characters. Other than the, what's a girl? Starfire? Yeah, I'm not fond of that character. They dress her up like a Detroit hooker.
No, Starfire. No, the Starfire is from that other one. That's from the Boys.
No, she's in Titans.
No, Starfire's in Titans. You're thinking of Starlight.
It's the girl it's the purple hair, and they dress her up like a hooker with the fur and everything.
Does she have the orange skin?
Do you just burn through the section when they have her on?
No, that's the girl that is dressed like a bird, right?
No, she's dressed as a hooker. No, that's Dove. That's Hawk and Dove. Oh. Starfire is the one who slept with Dick Grayson on the first couple.
Okay, yeah.
She's the one, the alien, and nobody gives a shit because the truth is that it's a boring character.
Yeah, I don't pay attention to that character.
It's a pinup character normally in comic books, but in it's
this one.
Yeah,
I don't pay attention to her.
Yeah, they always dress. I don't get this. She's an alien, and they dress her as a hooker.
Yeah,
and I've talked to my buddy who's involved in this stuff.
I don't like
and
it.
He says to me, he goes, "Yeah, it's the costume. We don't know what we can do with the design because she has an orange face. She's an orange face character.
Well, she's a black girl."
But they don't paint her orange like they do for.
She's supposed to look more like that. Orange.
Yes.
Okay. Well, the other one I'm talking about, then what's her name?
There's Donna Troy.
No. If you go over to the Boys, the girl that is like a Starfire, or
she's called Star something.
Star something else. That's who I'm confusing it with. Okay.
Yeah, the one
Starlight. Okay.
The one who had to give oral sex to the Aquaman character.
Yes. That's a great show. The Boys. If you haven't seen
Boys is terrible.
If you love the nerdy stuff, Boys is really good.
That's a tough one. Boys is tough.
Is that Amazon?
They should just call
Amazon,
it The Boys / Me Too. It's serious.
Boys is great, but going back to Titans, the next episode, and what they do with Titans is you can't just binge watch it, Ryan. You have to wait each week, and they give you
gross. It's 2019. I'm not doing that.
They give you a little countdown, and it's like you got 5 days and 16 hours, and the next one is titled Bruce Wayne.
Hey, if you can wait for Walking Dead and Game of Thrones, you can do it on Titans.
I hated waiting for Game of Thrones.
Well, you know what?
That wasted 7 years of my life.
Good, and it made every show important. The problem is when I binge something, I just burn through it, and it's like you're running a marathon. You just kind of like, okay, I get to the end of it. There's no excitement about it. You're kind of going, you're excited about the 10 hours that you had to sit there with the remote going, or your iPad. And I watch a lot of stuff on my iPad, and I like the idea of, okay, this is special. It's not special when you have 10 episodes given to you.
Hey, is this considered nerdy? And I don't know if it is or not, but do you watch the show The Mayans?
That's from the
AMC.
Yeah, Craig loves that show. My buddy Craig loves
Craig Lynn is a smart fellow.
He's a big boy, and I ride, so I should like it.
You should watch. But I'll tell you why. The guy who is the lead character, one of the lead, there's two lead characters. They were both brothers, and one's guy's name is Angel, and he's 6'7". He looks just like our Angel, and he walks like Angel, and he's a badass. And his brother's name is Easy, and it really is a good show. It's like
I saw the one where the Harley guys are fighting the Japanese bikes, and then the cops came and they said, what did they go? They go patches before badges or something.
Patches before badges. Yeah.
And I never heard that before. I was like going, wow, now I'm edgy.
And the character said, told that guy to get back on his homo bike or homocycle. And I'm like, oh, can you say that in 2019?
Bikers can say whatever the hell they want to say.
Yeah, that's true.
I can tell you this.
They're not worried about being PC.
You know what? It's so weird because it reminds me of these Star Wars, these Star Trek old shows where the women are now dominating the world, and the men have caused war and everything else, and the men now understand their place, and they're just used for sex slaves and everything else. And then Kirk shows up as this macho dude, and like 9 women want to sleep with him.
Yeah,
I mean, it just
Kirk.
We lose. I think we're losing something. I don't know. I think we're just vanilla. We're vanillaing our world, and I think the Mayans, when you watch it, you love that. The Breaking Bad, all the shows that are fringe characters.
Yeah,
these characters are evil and they're bad. We like a little dirt in our culture.
El Camino came out since I've seen you last, and that is the let's say second part really to Breaking Bad. Have you seen that yet?
I've seen it advertised. I haven't been watching it.
Yeah. It's basically another 2-hour episode of Breaking Bad, but and I won't give anything away to anybody, but it's a lot of Jesse Pinkman. It's a lot of him. It's like just a lot of him.
It's just him,
and it might be too much of him, to be honest.
Yeah, Walter White was the interesting part of that show. So I think just like the way it ended with Pinkman going away off into the distance, and then this movie for me kind of ruins that.
Did you watch it?
I watched the first half.
Oh, you didn't watch the whole thing?
No. So you couldn't get through it?
Yeah.
No, because I was bored of it.
It got a little dull.
And that's
it's dull.
I find out when I'm going through a show and I have to put it down, that I'm not really that interested in it.
If I start picking up my cell phone and checking Twitter, I'm like, I'm not really digging this. Let's turn it off, because that happens quite frequently.
Now, we talked about Disney Plus.
Yes.
The juggernaut. If you have a child under 10, there's no way you don't have the service. And they are going to, the numbers that Disney's going to have is going to blow just across the planet.
So
I think Netflix is in heapum trouble.
Really?
They're in a heapum trouble. Because, Disney has so much power, and they have the studios and they have everything else behind it. They're going to have all the shows. They're going to have this, and anything dirty, they just slap onto Hulu because they own 2/3 of that.
Oh, okay.
Oh God, I love Netflix, and I just see it as such a problem. Now, DC's going to move all their stuff over to the Warner Brothers app, which is the HBO Max. So you're just going to the exact same thing we had. I mean, you have a cable package, right?
I do.
And you don't even know why you pay for it anymore.
I know what I pay for.
You know what you pay, but you don't even know why you keep doing it.
I do it. The only reason I do it is because my wife loves every ghost show that's out there. Everything if I go home right now, it's on the Travel Channel or the History Channel, and she's watching some ghost show.
You have all the movie channels too, though.
I do not.
You don't?
No.
Okay. Well, I'm dumb. I see all the movie channels with movies that I don't want to watch. I'm going, why am I buying this?
No, I've got Amazon,
HBO Max, Showtime. All the stupid stars, all this other crap, and I don't know why I still do that. It's because the same reason why I used to have a phone in my house up to like 10 years ago. Before I said, "Why I don't use my phone in my house? Why am I even have this?"
Yeah.
So I think I
use Amazon, and I'll use Netflix, and then every week I go to check DC. But they only have. That really is a week.
That's why it's going to move. That's why it might move to HBO Max. But here, watch this. I'm giving a spoiler. And here is my feeling.
Okay.
And I know I'm absolutely right. Warner Brothers, who owns DC, they're going to dump DC. They're going to sell it.
Why do you think?
They don't understand it, and they also don't know how to make money on it.
Well, okay. So
and we're not talking about the movies. We're talking about the TV and the comic books.
Okay. Because I was going to say, I mean, now if Joker wins Academy Awards, that puts them on a different level than Marvel.
Just because you win an Academy Award doesn't mean that you're going to have a next successful movie.
That's
Look at
point.
Miramax is a good example. Miramax always was nominated, and that company barely broke even half the time.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for that guy molesting people, who knows what would happen.
How important is it for this next? And Robert Pattinson is going to play the Dark Knight. He's going to play Batman, and then and now we know that it's Lenny Kravitz's daughter. What's her name? Zoe Kravitz will be the Catwoman. How important is it for DC for that movie to be super successful? It's really important.
Here's where the problem comes with DC movies, and I feel really bad about this. DC movies are treated absolutely unfairly in comparison to Marvel movies because, let's say the Joker. The Joker did $500 million.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, name a Marvel villain that has their own movie.
There is none.
No, I mean the Punisher, but the Punisher's basically a hero.
He's a hero, yeah.
But there's no Marvel movie. Like if they decide to do Goblin. You could say Venom's a villain, but Venom's a hero too.
He's a hero. Yeah, you really that's the thing that DC has over Marvel is they've got better villains.
I think some of their villains are better, but the problem is this: you have the Joker, and then go, okay, who's the next great one? Lex Luthor, the Riddler,
Dr. Ock.
No, Doc Ock is Marvel.
Oh, so I know that, but yeah. Okay, I thought you were.
We're talking DC villains.
Well, okay, yeah.
And the Joker is top, but if you want to say the top Marvel villain, you're going to go for, let's say, Green Goblin. We're not going to go Thanos because that's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I'm talking the most well-defined villain is either Goblin or Doctor Doom.
Doctor Doom, right.
I don't see either one of them having a movie that does $500 million.
No. So in the DC world, it would be number one would be Joker.
Magneto's half the time a hero.
You think number 2 is Lex Luthor?
Lex Luthor would be their number 2. Is he the most interesting? I don't think so.
And then number 3,
Penguin or
Riddler,
Two-Face. I mean, I think what the Joker showed us is that we don't need to tell the story in the same way we do. We don't have to make it an action movie. We can be as offensive with words as we are with a punch to the face. And that's what Joker was. It was as offensive. It wasn't just, the violence, let's say once every 10 minutes. And in between that was just like mean, spirited nastiness.
The Riddler, though, basically could be serial killer that leaves clues. And there have been real serial killers that have done that. So you could graphic that up and make that very realistic.
If you wanted to make the Riddler cool, and this is just what you and I do this in the room when we do comic books all the time.
Yeah.
If I want to make the Riddler cool, it'd be like this: a dissatisfaction. I'm too smart. I'm sick. I need a challenge. This is boring the crap out of me. Living on, there are people making so much more money than me, and I'm so much smarter than they are. That's the Riddler. The Riddler is a genius. The Riddler is a sick genius who is ungodly bored with everybody around him, that he looks for that challenge. He needs it. And it's not about the money. It's about winning. It's about being smarter. It's about getting one over. It's about laughing at somebody else's expense.
But the Riddler was never in the comic books was never about killing people. He was more about jewelry heisting. He was more about stealing stuff.
Every theft he did was a game.
Right.
It wasn't what it was stealing. It didn't matter. It was $1 billion or an antique.
Yeah.
He wanted to. Batman, I'm going to test you. See if you can catch me.
I'm going to steal this.
See if you can catch me. That was the whole thing. See if you can catch me. The Joker was like, okay, I want to beat you, but I also
want to kill everybody.
I want to kill everybody.
Yeah.
The Riddler was never about that. The Riddler was like, I want to beat you.
Yeah.
I want to show you I'm smarter than you. And that was the one thing that Batman depended on was the Riddler's ego.
And the Penguin thing is always about being in power and being the mayor and being
he didn't care about that.
A dirty politician. He
wanted to be respected.
So you could do a dirty politician thing with the Penguin easy, especially in now's day and time, and make it a realistic.
Penguin wanted to be respected.
Right.
I mean, that was the whole thing, that he was made fun of his whole life. He came from a wealthy family, but because he didn't look like Bruce Wayne, they treated him poorly. They named him the Penguin. They said, "You're a fat, plumpy kid."
Yeah.
He was the first bullied kid that became a supervillain.
Right.
I mean, really, when you think about it, the Penguin was probably the most justifiable person to become bad.
You could do pretty good origin stories like they did with the Joker. You could do with those two characters pretty well.
It's hard because the Joker is just so iconic.
Yeah.
And people love watching insanity. And every actor who wins, it's because they took it to crazy town and blew right past it. And I don't know, like when we watch Gotham, when we see the actor who plays the Penguin in Gotham, who's just so ridiculously good.
He's great.
Can somebody be better than that?
Sure.
I mean, I watched Danny DeVito try to be that character.
Well, but it was but who was doing the movie? That was
Burgess Meredith,
Tim Burton movie. So he had to corny it up.
But they're all like,
yeah, exactly. But they could redo that.
Guns on their backpacks with
the penguins.
They had little penguins with rockets. It was ridiculous. Okay,
I would see one. You know who I think would be a cool villain to see is the guy who in Batman who always is keeping the time. And he can fight Batman because he knows how long it takes him to throw a punch and to like do a kick. So just like an obsessive compulsive guy who's like real obsessed with time.
Anytime you put powers involved, that's why the Riddler, the Penguin, all these guys are great villains because they don't have strength. They use their brains. They use their knowledge, intelligence. And that's kind of cool because we could all be them. Like I could be the Joker. If things go bad for me next week, I could actually go crazy. And I think that's what people were scared about.
It's funny when you say that because I never really liked when they crossed Batman over to Superman because then now we're getting into the ridiculous world. Yeah. With Batman, but you can have a millionaire that could do all that stuff because we've got a millionaire that could do all that stuff, Elon Musk, and you could have those villains. They could be real. But when you cross them over to Superman world, then you got to go, okay, now they're fighting spacemen and stupidity.
Yeah, you push it. You're pushing it. That's like Patricio in our YouTube chat right now. I said, Mr. Freeze would be amazing, but Mr. Freeze is sort of powered.
Chase here, we're not taking his until he decides to show up to a movie that we give him tickets for that we're not going to take it too seriously.
Cold out.
Yeah, you got to show up if you get free tickets. By the way,
twice. The worst thing is, he's all Hollywood. He sends people instead of him.
No.
And the guy goes, "I'm Patricio." No, you're not.
Don't give him any more. He don't get any more. You just got ganked. Here you go. Here's the
and Mr. Freeze,
and you're dead to me.
Oh yeah.
I got a legal question. That's a legal question. Right. Okay, I've got a friend. Okay, and I got a friend.
Okay,
and my friend was going to go in. He was going to buy a business. Okay, and when he was going to buy this business, okay, he and his friend were going to go in together and buy this business together. And the day before they go to sign, and it was like pretty a lot of money, right? Before they go to sign, his friend says, "Hey, by the way, when we do this corporation, my wife wants to be on the corporation with us. So it would be this guy." His friend, and then the wife wants to join in and be a part of the corporation.
Okay, and look at this face. Everyone who's watching this Facebook, no.
Yeah. Okay. I told this friend that was a really bad idea. So
now, if they split the shares up, this is how you. If somebody came to me, let's say you said to me on the day of, you're going, "Hey Jeff, guess what? Mary Ellen wants to be part of the company too." I said, "All right. Well, for you to make me feel better about it, you will get 49% of the company that you share with you and Mary Ellen, and I will get 51% so that you two can't bully me."
So what happened, Ryan Holmes?
Assume the position.
No, we talked about this on our podcast.
Why didn't you call me?
Well, he had the professional.
I didn't know a lawyer.
He had the professional advice of Russ and Bo.
Yeah.
We told him that's the craziest thing in the world. There'd be two. Tell me what would happen if he allowed his friend to put his wife on the corporation, and it's just him. What would happen
if the shares aren't split equally among you and their half? It means that they outvote you 66% to whatever you have.
And your buddy couldn't understand that?
Well, he did say eventually he's like, well, okay, you'll have 50, she'll have 25, and I'll have 20. My argument was she's not really bringing anything to the table to make her to have her be part of the corporation. And more shady stuff can happen with you two than can happen with me.
Watch us here. See, that's why it amazes me. I know that you bailed on law school, but you know people who didn't. Yeah. You could have called me in 10 seconds and I would have said to you, I said, all right, they want to do it. They own their shares jointly because they could own their shares jointly if they want to. It doesn't matter whose name the shares are in.
My bigger problem would that way they would only have one vote, right?
Yes.
If they owned it jointly. Oh.
Exactly.
See, but also it would be, instead of me and him working together in a business, I'd be more like I was working for them.
Yeah.
Because there's two of them.
Well, hold on. It's not only work for them. The point is this: you go, listen, I care about you, but I want this to be us. This is our business.
Right. He ended up backing out completely after all this.
It wound up, boom.
Well, here's what he wanted to do. He wanted Ryan to go explain to my wife why you go tell my wife why you don't want her part of it. And it's like, man.
Oh yeah, he wanted me to go tell his wife that why I didn't want her to be a part of it. And
that puts you in a bad, and that shows you what kind of business you would have to deal with.
It shows you what kind of world this generation is in.
Yeah.
That they go, oh, I can't. My wife and I, we have.
After it already gone and
you have to set
him.
proper expectations in relationships, in marriage, and in business.
Yeah.
And if the rules aren't defined clearly, you're going to put yourself in a bad position. Like Craig and I, we have a rule. It's a 50-50 business. But if one of us really wants something and the other person doesn't, we have we have a chip.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, you really want it? Give me the chip. And that means the next one I get to do.
Oh, gotcha.
And you have this give and take where you're going to listen. I'm going to do this for you this one time, but next time I get it. And unless you have these defined relationships, now anytime you bring somebody's wife or husband into a business,
that's bad.
Kiss of death.
Yeah, it's bad.
That is the cod of
So you got to you got to give Bo some credit tomorrow because he was the one that went on you really bad about.
Yeah, Ryan, this is a dumb thing.
I don't think I'm getting invited over for dinner over there anytime soon.
Guess what?
Either.
You know what the best thing about it is? You're also not going to get invited over to sign the bankruptcy papers.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, so what's going to happen? So are you going with someone else to buy the business or are you doing it on your own or what?
I'm probably
is this the popcorn stuff?
Yeah. Kettle corn
business. It's kettle corn, sir. How dare you?
Listen, this is kettle corn at the farmer's market in Winter Park. This is a big.
That's like Marvel and DC, 99, bro.
Yes, exactly. Except no, it's Marvel and Big City. Popcorn compared to kettle corn is Marvel and Big City.
Yeah.
Kettle corn makes up what? Half of 1% of the whole pop market.
Oh no, scrappy and people like it's better.
Not at the farmers market. The line is long.
Yeah, nobody's watching any Marvel movies at the farmers market.
If kettle corn was offered in a movie theater, I should get that going. If kettle corn was offered, in
you're
going to
trust morons to cook your corn.
I'm a moron. I cook it now.
You know what I'm not saying that.
So are you buying it on your own or not?
Yeah,
you are. Good.
Hold on. Have you sat down with somebody that has like an idea, like a basic business sense, who could like maybe walk you through some of the issues that you might not be thinking about? The answer is probably not.
Probably not.
Okay.
No.
It's free. He's going to go, I didn't know that. Well, you could have asked.
You know, his mom owned the business forever. He's buying it from his mom.
Okay, it doesn't matter. The worst part is buying businesses from somebody who ran the company a certain way that you might not run it that way, or you might not have those connections. You need to talk to somebody who might understand certain things that you don't have a clue about. And this is the problem. People want to go out and they go, I can do this. And then suddenly they're going, what happened? I owe all this money. And I know I have failed miserably.
I got a legal question for you.
Another one.
Another one. Okay. Let's say I give a guy a goddamn great idea. It's
genius.
It's genius.
Edible paper.
No.
Feed tuna large quantities of mayonnaise.
Get this. What? Add on kettle corn dogs, right? You got a kettle corn dog.
Yeah.
I gave him the idea. If he takes the idea and runs with it,
you're screwed.
I'm screwed?
Yes.
Even though I gave him the great idea.
Doesn't matter.
Copyrighted.
Son of a gun.
Ideas are like assholes. Everyone's got them.
I hope that idea
and
takes
I want you to know, somebody else, I want you to know something. If you Google kettle corn hot dog, I guarantee it's somewhere.
No, it's not. I already looked it up.
You sure?
Kettle corn dogs are not a thing yet.
I guarantee somebody tried to do it. Like I had some fried Oreos yesterday at the Alive after 5.
Yeah, they're good. Yeah,
and they're cheap too. They're $5 for 5. I'm like, I can't buy 5 Oreos for this much. But it was.
I want to remind you that tomorrow you get to see Ryan Holmes. He does great trivia, and he does trivia out at Bubba Lou's Barbecue in Apopka.
Yeah,
that's tomorrow, starting at 6:00. It's a great time to see him. He's awesome at trivia. And then for Big City Comics, you can go to Big City Comics.
Movie premiere.
Oh, you got your movie premiere tomorrow night.
Yep.
And so if people want to get tickets for that,
Jeff at whenyouneedus.com.
Right.
Or Jeff at Big City Comics.
And if you want to buy any of the comics, get Jolly Jane, any of the other great graphic novels, is at bigcitycomics.com.
Yep.
And it's all brought to you by Kaufman and Lynn. So we appreciate that. Tell Craig and Lynn I said what's up. And that's our nonsense.
Oh, welcome to our nonsense and bye-bye.
There you go.
Let me turn off the tour.